Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler. Today we'll be interviewing Taylor Vannest and Summer Sebok from women's volleyball team. After which we will have Coach Joe Dansby and sophomore Andres Cervantes from the wrestling team. And just before we go, assistant coach Leana Delacruz is back in the studio from women's basketball to talk about hoops. So to get us started, we are joined by spikers Taylor Vannest and Summer Sebok. So welcome, Summer, Taylor, to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Here we go. Season just kind of wrapped up for you. Kind of got to the edge of the playoffs. Very tough conference schedule. How'd you feel about the season overall?
I think it went pretty well. I think we could have had a few more wins, but overall, with the way we played and the way we performed, I'm happy with what we did.
Now, you guys started pretty strong out in the pre-conference schedule, knowing that the conference was going to be pretty brutal. You had three teams tied for first place. Everybody's beating everybody. What was it like just going into conference knowing that every night you were going to have a tough team to play?
Yeah, I mean, every night that we played a team from our conference was a battle. Again, we did do really well for ourselves in preseason, and that's why we had, a chance at playoffs this year, which is really exciting. But we just, every night we went into the war room and we gave it our all. This team was one that really was able to bounce back from any type of point deficit. We never really got down and felt like, oh, we can't do this. And I think that's how we ended up taking some sets off of some big teams this season.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely knowing that the teams were hard going in, it was more of a mental game than anything else, but I'm really proud of the way we kind of fought back the whole time. We never gave up on anything.
Now, you guys kind of had a little bit of a down season last year coming in. As sophomores coming back, did you have a focus that you were going to get this team up to that level?
100%. A big focus for me and Taylor specifically was fighting back and just kind of going in with a much better view on the season. I think the attitude last year kind of was what got us. So this year we really wanted to keep it fun and positive and just play our best.
Yeah, after last season, Summer and I, we literally went back to the drawing board and we created a set of expectations for our team that we wanted the incoming freshmen and the new girls to really buy into. And I think that really helped, and it really set a different tone for this season.
Now, did you guys, so you consciously went in there, tried to be more vocal, kind of take that leadership role? And that must have been nice. I mean, Coach Whitney's got to love that, having two sophomores do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to have more fight as a team, more passion. I think that's what we were lacking a lot last year, and they definitely brought that.
Yeah.
Now, Summer and Taylor, you guys both basically played every second of every game. And Taylor, sometimes you'd be setting, sometimes you'd be outside hitter, sometimes you're middle blocker. You're libero, you're over here, you were doing that. What was it like? I mean, did you feel comfortable with that? I mean, it's just like you guys, neither of you were ever. You were the essential players. You were never out of the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I came to Coach Whitney. I decided to come to Cuesta because I wanted to be developed as a player. I definitely didn't think I would be a setter, but I mean, she really did what I wanted her to do for me. Yeah, I mean, as an athlete, you can't just be one-dimensional, and she really helped me become a more well-rounded player.
I mean, the jump from high school to college is significant, but where were you in high school? Where did you play mostly?
Oh, I was strictly middle.
Oh, wow.
Strictly middle,
okay.
Yeah.
And at about 5'9" or so, that's a tough position to be all the time at this level.
Yeah. I can jump though.
Yeah,
That's important. That's important. Now, what about you, Summer?
Yeah, definitely. It was, I switched in high school. I was primarily an outside hitter, and then when I came in my freshman year, we had 4 outsides that were just above me, and it was that was just the facts. So she had to transition me to libero, and at first I was definitely very I did not want to, and it was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around. But I'm definitely very happy with that, making that switch originally, just because I definitely think it rounded me out not only as a player but as a teammate, being able to see a different view of the court, a different position, different the way you interact with the other players is different. It was a whole different game, honestly, and it was really interesting to be able to see that. And then now knowing both of those, this season I was kind of swapped back and forth, it was just, she would tell me where she wanted me, and I'd just go in and give it my all in that position and just do everything I could.
Was it difficult transitioning from being libero to the other positions? Because you're like, oh wait, I can't do that. I can't, I can't hit overhead. I can't.
Yeah, definitely going back to outside from being libero for a whole season. It was like, well, why am I switching back? I just learned libero. I was a little apprehensive, but I came around.
Now it seemed like the team really kind of came together this year. Is that kind of a thing as a sophomores? Did you guys feel that you needed to step up as leaders and kind of get that team galvanized?
Oh yeah, there's lots of conversations with Coach where she was telling us that she was ready for us to step up. She really wanted to see that out of us. She expected that out of us, and I feel like we did a pretty good job.
I think so.
I mean, I don't know what the freshmen will say, but I think we did. I think
we tried our best.
Yeah.
You're super mean. Yeah. So, well, what are the things, because you've had that experience where you've had to play with that team and play different roles and stuff like that, what do you think you've learned, not just for volleyball, but beyond that kind of leadership role that was forced upon you by Coach Meyer?
Yeah, so for me, that was the biggest learning curve, I guess. I couldn't just be a hitter. I couldn't just, go out there and get mad and amped up. As a setter, I had to really learn how to keep my emotions under control. This was a really different environment, a different team setting than I was ever used to. And, there was backlash from a lot of players. We didn't always get along or see eye to eye on things. And so learning how to, talk to each other and like understand that I'm not trying to be mean, and we just all want the same outcome, and that's to win. So that was a really big learning curve.
You would actually have to take the kids, your teammates aside and say, hey, listen, this isn't a personal thing.
Oh, there was a lot of one-on-one conversations. I mean, especially it's a girls' sport, so there's a lot of emotions sometimes, but I mean, for me, at the end of the day, I just want to win. I don't care if you're mean to me, I just want to win, so.
Yeah, definitely. I think like learning how to talk to people like that, because you kind of have to like go in knowing that everyone takes things completely differently. Like, so kind of like understanding that and then learning how to like deal with everyone as a whole. Because like I don't have, like, no one has the time to go around to each girl and like tell them exactly what they need to hear. So being able to like cater to the whole group kind of took a bit of like a learning curve. But once like we kind of figured that out, I think the season kind of really, it was a lot easier to like get through a game. So
there's a whole other skills besides having to learn new positions and moving around like that. So what kind of stuff are you guys, either of you planning to play at the next level?
Got some things cooking. Not sure.
Not
sure yet.
I am going to focus more on school after this season is up, and I'm planning on transferring to Cal Poly hopefully this fall. So really gonna just kind of I don't know if I'll make that team.
Sneak out here and help out a little bit.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come and watch.
Okay. All right. Well, are you guys? Last question: are you guys going to try out beach if we get it going this spring?
Of course.
All right.
I might. I'm thinking about it.
All right.
If I have time.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate having Taylor Vannest and Summer Sebok here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. And as we wrap up volleyball here, we will be coming back with wrestling, and Joe Dansby and Andres Cervantes joins us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
Welcome back. We're joined by wrestling coach Joe Dansby and all South Coast Conference grappler Andres Cervantes. Welcome, Andres. Welcome, Joe. Cuesta Sports Monthly. How are you guys doing out there? Team outlook right now, Joe?
Well, we're getting ready for the postseason right now, and the conference we're struggling in duels a little bit. We don't have a full team. We're 3 weight classes short. We're giving up 3 weight classes every duel, but we're pretty competitive considering. And then we're getting ready for that postseason, which is just tournament style, which I think we're a lot better at.
Now, Andres, you're getting a chance here. you got the regionals coming up, and then you have state championships here at Cuesta College. How much of a motivation is that to get there?
I'm actually like excited that it's here that way, because I know we've had some duels where we've had to travel, like Victor Valley. That one was a dreadful drive, and then the dreadful drive back. So having state here is actually like kind of like an incentive to just push yourself a little harder just to make it.
All right. Well, yeah, you get to kind of travel the length and breadth from the center of the state, north and south, don't you? So
they don't get all the stress of running the whole state meet either.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, Joe, what's kind of like the best thing you see about this team right now?
They gel really well together. I mean, you know, I don't know if everybody would want to be in the van with us together, but I mean, it's pretty fun experience, and watch how everybody gets along, and because everybody didn't know each other, you know, at the beginning, and you know, they're rooting each other on. They want each other to do well. They go mat side as close as they can to the mat and support each other, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've had to take a leadership role in here? I mean, you came in last year, you had a solid season, but this year now you're already all conference. You've done all these things. Mm-hmm. What's been that growth? What's the difference between you from last year and this year?
I feel like just adapting it naturally. Last year I was more of like looking and learning, and now I'm like learning and also teaching. But the guys make it so much easier because they just come together a lot better than I would say previous years. I mean, we help each other so much. We like Dansby says, we get mat side. Sometimes we get too close, and the ref's like, "You guys have to back up," and we're like, "Okay." But I mean, it just makes it easier for me to like lead and take initiative because of the guys. They just make it so much easier and so much funner.
Yeah, you think that collaboration just, I mean, amongst all the way across the board, that's kind of helped you improve this year? That's that kind of that growth for that whole team type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I grow, and then people come to, like some of the wrestlers that are new, they come to me like, "Hey, what made you grow so much?" And I just said, just be honest and be trustworthy of the process. Like with Joe, I trusted him so much more this year, and I mean, it's paid off, and you can see the results. It's kind of clear.
Now, is it different? Now, Joe, this may be more of a question for you. Having an athlete like Andres, who's kind of in your weight class, does that make a difference for you? Do you guys can you teach him different things or do you feel like he grasps it more coming from you?
Well, I like to thank you for seeing that we're in the same weight class. I appreciate that. I'm keeping.
I mean,
slim.
once upon a time.
I've been trying to keep slim. You know, I do. I have a good grasp of what little guys do. I mean, it's just a different world, really. I mean, although I've seen a lot of heavyweights wrestle and middleweights wrestle, and since I've seen so many matches, I can coach that. But having wrestled as a lightweight, I feel like I'm in there every match, and you know, it's like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Or "Oh."
You actually find yourself making moves on the side. It's like,
I'm pretty animated. Yes, I'm pretty animated on the side, to say so the least. And even Andres has told me, you know, "Hey, just keep yelling at me like that. It pumps me up." You know, so I get it entirely.
Now, Andres, after this year, do you have goals to go on the next level to wrestle?
Yeah, I'm doing my applications now, and one of my main schools is Cal Poly because I do eventually want to wrestle for them. So that's one of my main goals in the career of wrestling that I want to do. So I kind of look forward into that. Kind of nervous, but excited at the same time.
Right. Well, we know, Joe, do you want him going to your alma mater? He's gonna take down some of your records or something?
Definitely.
I don't know if I'm that good. I would definitely try.
Yeah, I mean, Andres has really he's really stepped up this year, and he's surprised us, you know, as coaches. We always expect the second year to be a lot better, but he's definitely stepped it up even more so. And he should be very proud of his accomplishments.
Now, besides just the techniques and the time in the room and stuff like that, has your mentality changed? When you go into the match, do you want to shoot first? Or are you just kind of feeling the guy out? What's kind of like your mentality as you get into that?
My mentality definitely has changed. I'm no longer, like my first year, you usually get a feel for it and you're kind of like scared. Now I'm just like, you know what? These are other people that have practiced hard, wrestled. I've practiced harder than some of these guys. I can go out there, take the first shot, take the first block, take them down. I could definitely like take initiative in my own self for these matches, and that's definitely helped me a lot.
Do you feel like, because at the lighter weights you kind of set the tone for each duel? Do you feel that pressure? You're like the guy. If you do that, then everybody else is going to follow you.
The funny thing is, I kind of don't look at it as pressure. I kind of feel like excitement. Like
the
if I can do
opportunity.
this, if I can do this, I can hype the team up, and we can have a good duel.
All right, Joe, what are you kind of looking for this team? What's the best thing about this team that you've seen so far?
Oh, the best team, the best thing. I guess the camaraderie, how they get along. Andres is a big part of that as well. I mean, whether he knows it or not, you and Riley have been through the whole thing already for a whole year, and so they can explain to the other kids like, hey, this is what coach really means. He's really not upset, or this is what we should be doing here, and it's been super helpful in that respect. I mean, he could take them off on the side and explain what we've said and what we're going and what should be happening at practice and maybe what's not happening.
Now, we've kind of touched on this last year, so I'm just going to follow up on that. But the state of wrestling, the idea was to kind of grow through women's wrestling. Where are we at that? Don't see as many women out there right now, but are you still trying to continue that as a club?
One of the reasons you're not seeing so many women right now in the fall is the 3C2A has made women's wrestling an emerging sport. So we're in our second year of that. They actually had a state championship last year, and so they had about 60 some odd women wrestling in that state championship for the first year, and they're expecting about 100 and something this year. And so we're hoping to jump on board. Of course, we're going to be club status right now, but we're hoping to eventually, in the next couple of years, jump on board and actually have a women's team, a sanctioned women's team. That's 3C2A.
Now, we're hosting the state championships again here at Cuesta.
Don't keep reminding me, please.
I know.
A lot of work.
What kind of spotlight is that? Just because you enjoy the work? I know we had the Meathead Mover, and that is an absolutely amazing event. It is like, it's almost too crazy for me to even keep up when I try.
Totally.
What the state championship we had it here 4 years ago, 5 years?
2014.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I remember it well.
All right, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joe and I, the years differ now these days, right?
It's going a lot faster for sure.
So what does that mean to your program? You think I just having that focus, that showcase here right now?
Well, having that in 2014 for the first time, I remember it was a lot of work, and now it's our second time. And like you say, it seems like it was just yesterday, but we definitely have a grasp on it, especially when we run a huge tournament like the Meathead Movers Invitational. Yeah. We're used to running big tournaments, and then people are appreciating it, and they love this town sells itself, but I think we run a really good tournament, so they kind of request it.
Well,
have it at Slow.
Look forward to that. I look forward to seeing Andres competing in that. So thank you, Andres. Thank you, Joe, for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. That does it today for Wrestling on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'd like to thank Joe Dansby and Andres Cervantes for joining us. Hope everyone can see them compete when Cuesta hosts the state championships this December 8th and 9th. That does it here for Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'll see you in the next segment, the interview.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot.
Blown it, bro!
Cuesta.edu.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. It is that time of year where the winter air sends the athletes into the gym for basketball season. Here for preview of what we can expect on the hardwood is women's assistant coach Leana Delacruz. Welcome, Leana. Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. How are you doing out there?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing okay. Getting ready for the fall sports, the winter sports coming up. Basketball season is always a busy time, especially as we kind of start scouting teams for our March Madness brackets, right?
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
So, team started off. This is your second year with the team. How's it looking out there for the women's team?
We're looking pretty good. We are a young team, so that's been a struggle. Just getting used to the players getting used to the new environment, new culture, new team. But you know what? They're improving vastly, and I'm so proud of them for all the work that they've been putting in.
Yeah, you have three starters who came back after having a lot of playing time. They got a lot of floor time last year. Yeah. Where have they improved? You have Abigail Lacey, Sydney Howe, and Maria Ferreira Brow. Mm-hmm. That's always a tougher one. How do you their development over the last year? They both they're all still in the starting rotation. So how's that kind of looking for you?
They're doing a very good job a very great job, I should say, at leading the team. They are our captains this year, so and we have the majority of the team. The rest of the team, they're all freshmen. I think that they're really doing a great job at leading them and getting them used to Cuesta ball.
Now this is your second year and Casey's second year. What are the kind of things that you brought back from last year or learned from last year that you're trying to implement with this new team?
I would say more team bonding, making sure that the players know that that they feel supported. Because again, a lot of these players are coming straight out of high school. Some of them are a whole country away, so we want to make sure that they have all the resources that they need and that they feel comfortable in this new area.
Now you have a couple of other kids coming from out of the area. You have Carla coming in from Germany right there, yeah. And Andrea. You have two other internationals coming in there. Are they kind of having an international with Maria already there? Did that help it a little bit, or is that?
I believe so. Especially since they all live together, they all live in the same suite.
Okay, so that's a very international.
Yeah. Okay. So they, I think that they're enjoying it. It seems like they're enjoying it. I know that they're having fun with the team, and that's really what matters. They're learning a lot about American basketball, and they've adapted very well since the beginning of the season.
What are the things that you see, that they've struggled with? I'm just kind of curious because I know there's different things, there's different fouls, there's different key size. What are kind of the things that you've had to emphasize?
Emphasizing on, they have different travel calls in Spain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they have, I believe they call it the 0 step, right? Okay. We don't have that here. So they've been doing a really good job at learning. You got 2 steps to go towards the rim for a finish, and then also just the different calls. The shot clock also.
Are their shot clocks shorter or longer?
I believe in Spain they don't have a shot clock. Okay.
Well, I have been hearing the stories of the 0 step, the Euro step, the gather step, and all those things. It's just, and it's spun my head as an old basketball player going, no, that's just a travel. Without, you have the international kids, but you also have the local kids. Have really stepped up. Bella coming in there, Reese coming in there. Those are pretty local kids, and Natasha. They've all been in the starting rotation right away. What do you have to say about those three and how they've kind of come in there?
Bella's done a great job with facilitating at the point. It's more of her defensive pressure on ball that really got her on the starting lineup. Reese, she has great basketball IQ. She's a scorer. She can score in any position, really. She's a shooter, which we love, And Akasha, heavy on boards. She's very tough, long, and great to have on defense.
We've been scouring the scorebooks for the past, and we haven't quite found it yet. But apparently, early in the season, Reese has collected the first triple-double in school history. So we still have, scholars have said, but we're still looking around. But I think that is the first, undeniably the first one. So, I mean, so there's a lot of changes. You got a lot of new people. You also have a new assistant coach. Is he the assistant to the assistant? How does that work? Joe Otrando's joining it.
Yeah, he's our defensive coordinator. He's our assistant coach. So he put in a whole bunch of new defenses, even put in a new offense as well. We love his energy, and Coach Casey and I were both more offensively oriented as coaches. So he brings in that new aspect. He's, I think, the perfect addition to our coaching staff.
Kind of rounds out the whole group. You got the band together now.
Yep.
Now you guys had a pretty solid season last year, 4th in conference. Casey was coach of the year. A lot of respect there from the rest of the conference for the team. How do you feel about this team now? It really seems like you have the pieces together here. What's the outlook looking for these guys?
Well, we have high expectations with this team. I mean, they're so dedicated. They're working out on their own. They're asking what do they need to work on outside of practice, studying basketball, studying school and everything. So we're just really proud of them. We're really excited for this for the season to get more rolling on things.
Now I'm going to ask you to shift gears a little bit here because the men's team is on the road. But we talk about the other coach Blair, the father of Casey, who you coach with. I know you guys share a gym and sometimes share a little bit of time. What have you seen out there? It looks like they've got some good pieces out there, and what are you seeing out there for those guys?
Yeah. Well, Drew, he had pretty close to 50% at the 3-point line last year, I believe.
Right.
He's gonna be big for their team.
It's always nice to have a returning first team all conference, but they also got a couple of guys close to 6 foot or 7 feet tall out there too.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good, moving the ball around well, and I'm excited to see more games. So. Yeah.
Well, when you come into conference is always going to be tough. You have Ventura, you got Moore Park, and all those things. What are the team thinking about that now, or is it just kind of focused on what they're doing here out in the?
Yeah, right now we're focused on attacking the next opponent. Every single day, it's just whoever's out in front of us, that's who we're going against. Ventura and Moore Park, they are very they've had a rich reputation, So and we are excited to go against them. But right now we're focused on Santa Ana on Saturday.
All right. Well, that does it here for basketball here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'd like to thank Leana Delacruz for joining us and covering both the men's and women's basketball team.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't put the boom in the shot. Blowing it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.